In the vast expanse of the digital universe, July 15, 2020, marked a day of infamy. On this day, the world witnessed a significant Twitter hacking incident that shook the global community to its core. Picture this: you're scrolling through your Twitter feed when suddenly, you see a tweet from Elon Musk, Barack Obama, or Jeff Bezos. They're offering to double your Bitcoin investment. Seems too good to be true, right? Well, it was. This was no random act of cyber mischief. It was an intricately planned and executed operation that exploited Twitter's internal systems. The perpetrator managed to gain control over the accounts of some of the world's most influential individuals and corporations. Imagine the shock when tweets started popping up from the likes of Joe Biden, Kim Kardashian, Apple and Uber, all promoting the same cryptocurrency giveaway. The world watched in disbelief as one by one, these high-profile accounts fell victim to the hack. But it wasn't just the big names who were affected. Countless ordinary users were enticed by the fraudulent messages, sending Bitcoin to a specified wallet address under the illusion of doubling their investment. The hackers had struck gold, raking in substantial amounts of Bitcoin before the scam was brought to light. The aftermath of this monumental hacking incident was a stark reminder of the power and potential danger of the digital world we inhabit. The shockwaves it sent across the globe underscored the importance of robust cybersecurity measures, even for the most influential among us. This was not just any ordinary cyber attack. It was a meticulously planned and executed operation by a mastermind named Graham Ivan Clark. Known as Kirk in the darker corners of the internet, Clark's audacious act shook the world and forever changed the way we look at cybersecurity. Scene script. Behind this grand digital heist was a 17-year-old hacker, Graham Ivan Clark, also known as Kirk. Clark's story is one of a tech prodigy turned rogue. Raised in Tampa, Florida, Clark demonstrated an early affinity for computers and technology. As a teenager, he honed his skills by participating in online hacker forums and engaging with various hacking communities. His alias, Kirk, became a familiar name in these circles. Clark's skills went well beyond the realm of typical teenage computer enthusiasts. He mastered the art of social engineering, a method of manipulating individuals into divulging confidential information, a technique often used in hacking. This, coupled with his knowledge of phishing maneuvers, made him a formidable force in the cyber world. Phishing is a cybercrime where targets are contacted by email, telephone, or text message by someone posing as a legitimate institution to lure individuals into providing sensitive data. As Kirk, Clark wove a complex web of deceit. He tricked Twitter employees into believing he was a coworker in the tech department, needing access to certain tools for standard operational tasks. This manipulation allowed him to gain unprecedented access to Twitter's internal tools and systems. But what does such access mean? Imagine having the keys to a city, able to open any door, enter any room. That's the kind of power Clark wielded. He had the ability to take over any Twitter account, to post, to delete, to control the narrative. And he used this power to execute one of the most audacious cyber heists in history. Clark's tactics were not just about the technicalities of hacking. They were about exploiting human trust and manipulating perceptions. He blurred the lines between the digital and the real world, using his online persona to mask his true intentions. Clark's audacious actions resulted in unprecedented access to Twitter's internal tools and systems. His cunning, combined with his technological prowess, led to an event that shook the world and highlighted the vulnerability of even the most secure digital platforms. Clark's scheme was not a random act of mischief, it was a detailed, well-orchestrated plan. In the virtual cosmos that is the internet, Graham Ivan Clark, also known as Kirk, was preparing a meticulously crafted operation. This was not a spur-of-the-moment decision, but rather a calculated endeavor that required in-depth knowledge and understanding of both social engineering and phishing tactics. The first stage of Clark's strategy involved the manipulation of Twitter's internal tools and systems. Using a social engineering approach, he deceived Twitter employees into believing he was a colleague requiring access for legitimate reasons. This tactic, known as pretexting, allowed Clark to gain entry into the very heart of Twitter's network, its internal control panel. Once inside, the second phase began. Clark had the keys to the kingdom, access to the accounts of the most influential individuals and corporations. But he wouldn't just start tweeting from these accounts. No, he had a far more intricate plan. He systematically began to change the email addresses linked to these accounts, effectively locking out the rightful owners and ensuring any recovery or reset emails would be directed to his own inbox. Now, with complete control over the accounts, the third phase of his operation took place. He began posting deceitful cryptocurrency giveaway messages. These messages, coming from trusted sources like Elon Musk and Apple, enticed users to send Bitcoin to a specified wallet address with the false promise of doubling their investment. The audacious promise, combined with the reputable source, persuaded many to part with their Bitcoin. The final phase was the withdrawal of the ill-gotten gains. Clark, aware that his time was limited, began to move the Bitcoin from the receiving wallet to various other wallets. This was to obscure the trail of his theft and make it more difficult for authorities to trace the funds back to him. But how did he manage to accrue substantial Bitcoin in such a short time? Well, the answer lies in the power of the accounts he controlled. When you have the voices of Elon Musk, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Jeff Bezos, Kim Kardashian, Apple, and Uber at your disposal, your reach is vast, and your influence is potent. The sheer number of followers these accounts had allowed Clark to cast a wide net, and in the frenzy, many fell for the scam. It's important to note that this was not a victimless crime. Many people lost substantial sums of money, and the reputational damage to both the individuals and corporations involved was significant. Moreover, it exposed the vulnerabilities in our online security systems, showing just how easy it can be for someone with the right knowledge and a little audacity to exploit them. In a matter of hours, Clark had compromised the accounts of some of the most influential people and corporations in the world. The fallout from Clark's Twitter hack was swift and severe, both for him and for the victims of his scheme. In the immediate aftermath of what's now known as the Twitter Bitcoin scam of 2020, the financial toll was substantial. The hackers had managed to accrue over $100,000 in Bitcoin within just a few hours, but the monetary loss was just the tip of the iceberg. The reputational damage to the affected individuals and corporations was far-reaching, triggering a wave of mistrust and skepticism among the public. The illusion of invulnerability that these high-profile figures and corporations maintained was shattered, but the repercussions didn't stop there. The incident served as a stark wake-up call for Twitter. The company was thrust into the spotlight, facing intense scrutiny over its cybersecurity measures. The hack exposed vulnerabilities in Twitter's systems and raised serious questions about the security of social media platforms and their ability to protect user data. As for Clark, the mastermind behind the hack, his fate was sealed swiftly. Less than 2 weeks after the incident, he was arrested. Despite his minor status, Florida law allowed for him to be charged as an adult due to the severity of his crimes. He faced multiple charges, including organized fraud, communications fraud, identity theft, and hacking. If convicted on all counts, he faced a potential sentence of several decades in prison. Clark's story serves as a potent reminder of the potential consequences of engaging in cybercrime. Far from being a victimless or harmless act, hacking can have severe legal repercussions. It's not just about facing prison time, but also about living with the label of a convicted felon, which can have lifelong implications. This case also underscores the importance of robust cybersecurity measures. In an increasingly digital world, the threat of cybercrime is ever-present and growing. It's not just about protecting financial assets, but also about safeguarding reputations and maintaining public trust. It's about ensuring that our online spaces are secure, so that they can continue to serve as platforms for communication, commerce, and community. Cybersecurity is more than just a buzzword. It's a critical component of our digital lives. It's about being proactive, understanding the threats, and taking steps to mitigate them. It's about recognizing that in the digital realm, we are all potential targets. And thus, we all have a role to play in securing our online world. As we delve deeper into the digital age, we must remember that the internet is not a lawless frontier. It's a shared space governed by rules and regulations where actions have consequences. We must all take responsibility for our digital actions and work towards creating a safer, more secure online environment. As the story of Graham Ivan Clark demonstrates, the digital realm is not a playground but a battlefield, where cybersecurity is not an option, but a necessity.